my goodness. I'm super embarrassed, but I am home filming and our deck is being put back. And so, you guys. Oh, man. I asked Adam, I was like, is this all day? And he's like, yeah. So, just pretend like it's the relaxing sound of drilling in your cranium. That's what it's going to be. So let's get started. Let me go ahead and bring this up on my screen. You know, I struggle. The struggle is real. So hang on. We have one person. It's me and one person. YouTube. And I'm going to find the video so I can comment in case. You know what I can't stop watching? I don't know if you guys have been watching it, but it's those that bald eagle pair. I'm like so hooked. I can't even say I can't stop watching because I haven't even watched it today, but it just came up and I was like, oh my God, I want to watch it. Okay, let me bring up my live chat. Hello again, Miss Cindy West. Good to have you. So here are my embellishments that I stitched out. Oh, look I have some repeat offenders in here today. A lot of repeat offenders. So this is the door. And I did go ahead. I just put it under the sink. I know it said take a Q-tip and like rub it. But I just put it under the sink and I kind of rubbed it. And then it was saturated. So then I put it on my fire or near my fireplace. And so I have this and I have the boot. And you need these to go ahead and stitch out it's called the bunny boot and the mushroom home. So let me go ahead and turn to those pages. Oh, we got to do embellishments too. There's so much to do with you guys. Okay, here is bunny boot. So cute. And we are going to do this because it bumps us. And I should have my spreadsheet because I reprinted it. I reprinted it because I lost it. I just keep printing them over and over again. So we are doing bunny boot. Was not able to get. Oh, no worries, Naomi. This is, you know what? It's never any pressure. You work at your own pace. I want you guys to have fun. I never want you to look at this as something that's going to be a stressor. I do these sew-alongs more for me than for you because it keeps me on track and it gets me stitching out my projects. And I hate them being UFOs. So it's for me, not for you. You thought I was doing this for you? You're wrong. No, I do it for you too. And it's our, I can't say girl time because we have some male stitchers here. It's our sewist times that we're going to sew together. But our bunny boot part B, we're in 6x8 is our design size. So I'm going to go ahead and hoop up in my 7x12 because you know I love it. And I just kicked my dogs out. And I just wolfed down some food. My handy dandy little table. I just love this table. Where are my magnets? Do I have those anywhere? Are those anywhere to be found? So I'm going to grab this one. Here's my bunny boot. Okay, let's talk about these bags. I ordered another set and I was like, ooh, these are cheaper. So I ordered them and I was showing them to the girls in the shop and I was like, and look, you have one spot that you can put all your embellishments. And look, you have another spot that you can put your main pieces. And the best part is this wonderful soft ribbon. And I grabbed it and I was like, wait a minute. This is. So these that I'm using right now, this is like some kind of thick ribbon and I love it. The other ones I got were this like canvasy, like hard handle. And you know when you love something, nothing else will do. So I'm returning the other ones. So just know these are not all considered equal. I think I put it somewhere in the feed. These are like, I love these handles. So I'm going to pay more. The ones that I got were like $12.99, the ones I didn't like. And these were like $18.99 for the handle. But to me, it's worth it because they make me happy. Okay. Sometimes you treat yourself. You treat yourself because you deserve it. This was the carrot house. Here are the blossoms that we did in our last sew along with the fringe. This is the one that we're going to add the embellished quilt to. So I'm going to take this and put this. Here are my leftover pieces and some of my embellishments, and I'll keep this over here next to me. What was I going to say? Don't remember. The thought has left the room. Okay, so I'm going to hoop up. This is what I just did, and I like to keep one embroidery on, so I just stitched out wallflower and different sew along. Here's Hoppin' Down the Bunny Trail, the sign, which is so cute. I'm going to cut this one off. So this one's going to get cut off. I like turning to the back side and cutting right between them. And then I'm going to hoop. Hello again. Yeah, you get a whole day of stitching with A1. Okay, gonna toss that to the side. I'll leave this one on. Don't let it confuse you. I'm just leaving it on so I can maximize my... Uh-oh. This is all I have left? I'm gonna have to cut another piece. All right. Let's put our magnets on. Oh, God, that's the drilling. Sorry. Just bear with me. We are having the deck done off of our house, so they... Adam restained it and made it gorgeous. Patrick and I like to, we used to, when we didn't work as much, we would, at nighttime, we'd go sit out on our back deck and be all romantic. I'm just kidding. I'd be romantic. Patrick would just be sitting there. I'm just kidding again. So we would hang out on the deck all the time, and we barely do that now. So we want to get back to that. That's what Patrick said. He's like, I wanted to go back to when we used to hang out on the deck. So I like to grab my fingers and kind of pull it taut this way. Not tight, just taut. And then I'm going to go ahead and put these on the side. I have one here. I don't think I can fit it. I need to cut some more muslin. I buy the muslin by the bolt because I would be panicking right now if I didn't have enough. If I was like, oh, I've got to stitch another with them. So when we have a little lull, I'll go and I'll cut another piece. I like to cut this. I think this is, what is it? 12 inches or 12 and a half? I can't remember. Do you need this hoop? No, you don't need this hoop, but... Is this hoop nice? Yes. Although I'm getting a little buckle here. There we go. Okay. That's good enough. It's going to just press out. And then we're going to do bunny boot first. So I'm going to pull this out. This is my background fabric with the little dots on it. Your batting. And then this is going to be... Oh, look. It says add shape flex, which I never did. It's going to be fine without. Sometimes I am a little bit of a rule breaker, a little bit of a rebel. Okay, let's load our design. So I'm going to go home to clear my screen. Donna, it is a really nice hoop. I really like it. I am so sorry. I don't know what else to do other than just keep stitching. I was thinking I could go to a different room of the house, but I just know I'm going to be forgetting stuff and then having to run back down here. So on your spreadsheet, it tells you that we are going to put in our quilting design is Easter 7, 6x8. I can't, was it Dwani who did theirs, and they put in like that, like the way, it was kind of like a curvy, like wave stitch. It looked so good. Oh, wait, I don't have it in here. Do I? Return. I think I have it. I brought it in on design database transfer. There it is. I think that's it. Are these the same? Oh, no, it's this one. The 6x8. Yikes. Snikes. There's the design. So it is the one with the, like, beehives and stuff. This one. I'm going to go ahead and hit set, and I'm going to add, and let's go back to our pocket. I'm so sorry. Oh, and you're going to choose this one. It's the boot that has the shading in it. Don't do this one. This is just the embellishment. I love that. Cindy, why do you need another one? Is there something I can help you with? Okay, let's talk about alignment. I do have it on this sheet, and it says here, so you know there's something going on if there's something written here. It'll be worth it. Align bottom of the embroidery block with the bottom of the quilting design so both files are centered. So we're just going to nudge this down. So, and I always like to look on here nice and close because that's going to, see, that is what it should look like. So we're going to, the very bottom of your boot design is going to be lined up with the very bottom of your quilting design. So what I like to do is I like to come in here and zoom into 200% so you can see, I can't see the bottom of my quilting design. So I have to move it up. You do that with the hand. Don't touch it with your finger. You're going to move the design. I'm just moving my viewable area up. So I'm going to touch the hand and then I can move it. And now you can see the bottom of my quilting design and the bottom of my boot. I have to unclick that now or we'll still be moving the viewable area. So we're going to go to edit. We're going to go to the move key. If you're on the Avenir or the Radiance, it's going to be the one that has the arrows. And let's go ahead and we're just going to move that straight down. Here, you want to be closer? There you go. What happens when I hold it down is I overshoot. Perfect. Looks great. We're ready to go. That's all you have to do. I'm going to go ahead and say okay. I'm going to zoom back out to 100%. And I'm going to touch embroidery. And we should be ready to go. So a couple of things. Here, we're on our layout screen. This is the screen from which you stitch out. It's also could be your secondary edit screen if you're on a Baby Lock and a Brother machine. I'm going to touch this button down here because we will be skipping some steps. So touch this button. And now we're set up where we can fast forward if we need to. I'm hooped up. I'm going to grab my fabric. Make sure you have a bobbin in. I've got one in there. I'm going to fluff the last embroidery that I did. I have slid it on and had my fabric tuck under and then embroidered on that. It's no fun. You're like, wait a minute. What's going on here? And then you flip it over and your embroidery is stitched down. So if you do have another embroidery on, fluff it. Fluff. Just flip it and make sure you see it under there. I'm going to go ahead and slide this hoop on. And the carriage will move. I'm going to go ahead and say okay. These hoops slide on really nicely onto the Luminaire and the Solaris and the Avenir. Sorry, Avenir and the Radiance. I want to warn you, the 8x12, the 6x10, the 9.5x14 can stick a little bit sliding on. Those, the ones that we order at the store are... Sorry. They're the branded ones, and they're just kind of sticky. If you're using one of those hoops and you're having trouble sliding it on, hold it here, push it on, and when you take it off, hold it here and pull it off. Should we reschedule? Please don't give me a thumbs down because it's so loud. I'm so sorry. I just didn't want to reschedule. Okay. Here we go. So, we're going to move this design up to maximize our muslin. So I'm going to go ahead. I forgot to do that. I'm going to say okay here. Layout, move, and I'm going to just move it all the way up. When your hoop is on, it will now allow you to go outside of that area. Gloria, thank you. I just feel so bad. And now I have to go back into this button again. All right. We want a color we can see. I'm just going to go ahead. Oh, God, light turquoise is so beautiful. Guess it's my first time using this. Remember, I didn't have the thread kit. I'm going to go ahead and stitch out your placement. You guys are okay? I apologize. I am so sorry. I know somebody's going to watch it, and they're going to be like, loud noise. No, thank you. Thumbs down. I'm really embarrassed. Sorry. I just didn't want to reschedule. It's so hard just finding time that works. Okay, placement line first, guys. Let's grab our spray tent and our spray. Get that up and out of the way. Okay, I'm going to put down my bumpy side down is the wrong side. See how it's like bumpy? That's the wrong side. That goes up though because you spray it and then we're going to put it down. This is your background fabric. You're going to put that right side down. And you're going to inspect and go, oh my goodness, look at that dark thread. That would have showed through. Even the light threads. The light threads will shadow through. So always look at it and when you spray it, just to make sure there's nothing icky on there. And then I'm going to use my Ganol KK100. We sell this at the store if you need it. But also know that if you like to, I'm barely spraying. I don't know if you can hear that, but it's like barely coming out. You don't need a lot, just a little to hold it down. Okay, here we go. We're going to lay it down now. Here we go. You guys are so great. Okay, batting first. And then background fabric. Center it to your batting. And what this does when you do this, we cut our batting. We cut our batting 2 size. That means you don't have to do the tack down and trim. And then we just lay down the background fabric on top of it, which means you don't have to do a placement line. So now we're going to go ahead and skip some steps. So right here, that's the tack down for the batting. Don't need it. Placement for the background. Don't need it. Tack down for the background. You need that. Choose a color you can see, meaning don't do white because you're going to fussy cut to this line. The tack down for your background is the line that you fussy cut to. Somebody asked in the last sew along, is it bigger than the 5x7? Because your design is, let's look at this. Your design, well, your design here is a 6x8 design, but this is going to be 5.5 by 8.5. That's why it bumps you out of the 6x10 hoop. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and take out my thread. I just wanted that to be what I cut around. I trim around. Quilting stitch calls for white. I've been doing linen because it just pops a little bit more. I think it looks... Oh, man. Should we just turn off the side? We'll just do it by... You just watch. Here we go. Thanks for saying that. I feel so bad. Okay, if you guys are okay, then we'll just keep going. So we're doing the quilting stitch. Quilting stitch is going to take 3 minutes. And I know on your screen, if you're new, I know it says teal green or it'll say some other color, but normally you're going to see turquoise is going to be placement, orange or something like orange is going to be tack down, and then the green is going to be quilting. It doesn't mean you want to put those colors in for these steps. Did you see him? The little bunny with the tail? That's how they get you. You go, I'm not going to buy background quilting, and then you do because there's a bunny with a tail. Okay, what's next? After we do our quilting, usually it says here, after quilting, isn't it funny they didn't highlight it here? You're going to go to machine step 3. You are doing step 1 and 2 if you are not doing the background quilting. If you are not doing that, then you will be doing these steps so you place your background fabric, but we are skipping all the way to step number 3. We're going to put in our light turquoise. Finish stitching out all the blocks, but okay, Miss Sewing Gal, you're going to have to post it. I love being inspired. I love seeing what you guys do with this. That's different. And if you're not doing different like me, we're just having fun. Normally we do a big challenge. We do we haven't done it in a while, but we usually do a challenge twice a year where we'll do something like a mashup. Or, you know, we've done things like Disney Princess quilt. We've done a Winnie the Pooh quilt. So we've done other stuff. We should do another mashup. And it doesn't have to be Kimberbell. It could be anything. Gonna have to think about it. Okay, get your light turquoise ready. What's everyone working on? I always like seeing what you guys are working on. Naomi, doesn't that sound fun? Because I think it's pretty inspiring when you see everyone, like people change things and add things. And I'm like, oh my God, that's so cute. I never thought of that. Gets you to stretch your mind a little bit. Miss Linda's stitching with me. Sewing Gal is mixing it up. Okay, I do like to show you guys this. When I change out my thread, you need to make sure that your foot, that means your foot is down. Do not try to take out your thread because it closes your tension disc. It automatically usually puts your, does it? Automatically, it puts your foot up and it opens this. And then just unthread it. Don't pull back, just unthread it. And when you get to right here, it just comes right out. I probably should have showed you with a different color, but I wasn't thinking about it. I don't even use a spool cap with my mini cones. I just thread her up because it just comes off really nicely. If you use a spool cap, a spool, you should always use a spool cap. I am threaded up. Look at your screen. Oh! I was just going to hit go, but that's my placement line. So don't do that if you already did your background quilting. Don't do the tack down. This is what you should see on your screen. Should look like that. What happens if you did start stitching something you shouldn't have? Just hit your scissor button, cut it, and you might have to rip out the stitches depending on how much you did. Oh, I know. There were two. I want to say there were 2 or 3 people that just did their order yesterday, and they're Patrick shipping out today. I go, Patrick, this is emergency stuff. You need to get this shipped out now. So they were given to Patrick. Thumbs up, please. Okay, Sewing Gal, let's talk about that. I'm going to grab my 8x12 because I love my 8x12. Yeah, I don't want you to think you have a bad hoop. I don't want you to think there's something wrong with your machine. But here is my 8x12 right here. And you're going to see it's kind of dark right here. And that's where I think it's kind of rubbing. And I literally will hold this part and slide it on because you don't want to move this. If you move this, you're going to knock your machine out of calibration. What do you do if that happens? Just turn the machine off and back on again. It's as easy as that. And then when I pull it off, I put my thumb here so it doesn't pull towards me, and I grab it and pull the hoop. Somebody at Baby Lock told me I could sand it down. So I have taken a piece of sandpaper and just like filed it down here. I just force it on and off. It is a snug fit. It is a snug fit, but I've done that. But I don't know. Like, I'm like, is it here? Like, this is the only place that I see where it has those block marks. So this is where I just go. Don't tell anyone I told you that, because I don't know if you're really supposed to do that, but desperate times call for desperate measures. And it's the hoops that don't come with the machine that are just tight on there, and I just don't know why. Why don't they make them fit? Because the other ones fit, so you would think it'd be easy. Okay, I'm taking out my turquoise thread, and I am putting in What's the next color? Lime. Grab your lime thread. So Carrie, and part of me goes, because I'm scared, like I'm chicken poop. So I filed it down, but I haven't filed it. I haven't sanded it a ton. Has it helped? Do I need to sand it more? Like, I just force it on and off. It comes on and off. It's not like awful, but maybe I need to do more. Wax paper. So Betty, did that help? Oh, okay. Don't sand. Don't forget you even heard that. Just wax paper. Okay. I'm gonna wax paper mine. Yeah, try it. And know that your hoops aren't broken and your machine's not broken. It is poor design on those for some reason. They know it's an issue. Why don't they just fix it, right? I don't know. Some of that stuff seems like a no-brainer to me, so I don't know why it hasn't been dealt with. Okay, after we do this step, and remember, you have written instructions and corresponding picture instructions. So right now we're doing step 4, stitch the leaves and stem fill. And here's the picture. And then we're going to do step 5. So you're going to need shadow. Shadow. Ooh. Let me grab my shadow. Holy cow! I don't even know if I have wax paper. I'm going to have to... If you live in Reno and you're coming to the store and you have wax paper, bring me a piece. I don't even have any. I'll have to go buy some. That's one of those things I can go to my neighbor's house for. Is this like so sweet? Just makes you think it's spring. The weather here has been such a tease. It's like, and quite honestly, it's always a tease in Reno. Warm, then cold, then warm, then cold. Spring is here. No, it's not. And it's gonna keep going. Just keep stitching. Hello, Miss Annette. Oops. Oh my God. Okay. We are gonna put in shadow. shadow. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Here we go. Does anyone else have a whiny dog? Poppy does not whine. Maybe because she's the queen. Momo is whiny. Okay, this is the heel, then the sole, the inner boot, and inner pull loop fill. So we have a couple of things this is going to be doing. Oh, this is a long stitch out. I love this. So for me, the progress bar is so key because I love looking at it and going, oh, look at this. This is going to be a long stitch out. This is a good time to clean the room. This is a good time to go do some dishes. So if I was at home, well, I am at home, but if I wasn't stitching with you, I would take this time, like take advantage of this time. I think what I'll do is I'll get organized a little bit and clean up my workspace so it's not embarrassing. So let me go ahead and do that. So this is going to be 10 minutes. Just let it go. Did anyone stitch the door and have it like, mine was afterwards, after I got rid of the stabilizer around here, it was really hard. And I was like, ooh, is this going to stitch okay? So I just took it and I've been like bending it to make it more pliable. So it could just be the wash away in here, but it feels so much softer. Just know that this is kind of thick here. Your needle might break, or you can change out to a bigger one. But I like to take chances. I'm so risky with my sewing. I'll just leave my 7511 in there. But if yours is feeling pretty stiff, just like kind of wrinkle it up a little bit. This is one of those times where if you feel like you're not getting enough coverage, which the coverage looks pretty fantastic, you could put some topper, some permanent topper under here so that the white isn't peeking through the black. But I'm looking at it and it looks amazing. You could also take a Sharpie and color it in later. I did not. I will look at it like when it's stitching and I'll go, oh my God, is my white bobbin coming through? And it's not at all on mine. That doesn't mean yours might not be coming through. Like there's ingredients to every design. If you feel like the white is showing, stop, cut, put a dark bobbin in. But mine looks fantastic. Oh no, Anna, did you do it with me and was it too risky? Doing both of them in the same hoop? That is the other thing that you can do. So Dwani said that she used a black bobbin. If you have a big, thick fill like this, you might just assume that you might get some flecks of white showing through, and you might just go ahead and put a black bobbin in, just so you don't have to worry about it at all. That's for our overachievers. I'm just kidding. Slackers like me leave it in there. There's being proactive and there's reactive sewers. I'm reactive and I don't change it until I have to. And then you have proactive. Before it becomes an issue, they deal with it. Oh, Miss Anna, I'm so sorry. Now you know, don't follow Jeannie. Miss Shaw, I saved those doggy treats until today because I was like, oh, I'm going to need to keep them occupied. And they loved them. If you are, and Miss Anna, if you're deconstructing because you need that shape form, that piece of shape form, You can also use like Peltex. I don't know if you have Peltex, but Peltex is a really good one that I'll use in place of shape form sometimes. No, you can't get on like that. Okay, mine's headed down to the sole and the heel. And I know I told you I was going to clean, but I'm getting puppy love right now. Okay, next color up, we are going to, this is what you call a lap dog, right? It's Momo. So, you're going to stitch the outer pull loop fill right here, number 6, and buttercup. So go ahead and grab your buttercup, and if you are using a dark bobbin, don't forget to switch it back to a neutral color. I'm going to grab my buttercup. Ooh, I'll try that. I've got a dryer sheet. Yeah, that should slick it up, right? Okay, so I'm going to get my buttercup. And then it wants white for the inner boot satin outline. Uh-oh. My issue is my white is across the room. And I have a dog on my lap, and we never disturb the dog when the dog is giving you love. I don't know if anyone else is like that. I don't know why. Like, I hate kicking the dog off my lap. When it sews over the whole boot and the vinyl. Die cutting machines also. Okay, good to know. Patrick has been using wool balls in lieu of dryer sheets. I just can't give up my dryer sheet. The wool ball doesn't work as well. He uses, anytime I do my laundry, I always put in a dryer sheet. I can't help it. Margie, you get it. You get me. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and change out. Put in my buttercup. This is where I need amazing stretching limbs. Don't forget to cut it. You always want to do that last step. So, Miss Linda, did that help you? The WD-40? Okay, I'm not going to tell people to sand anymore. It seems like everyone loved their wax paper, so I'm going to try that. And I'll try the dryer sheet first because I have those. Okay, now it wants you to go ahead and put the white in. Guess what? My white's across the room. Momo's on my lap getting some love. Although his butt is sliding off. Come on, buddy. I'm going to put in my linen. I know I'm cheating. I'm going to put linen in. And that way he doesn't have to move. Poppy's been a bully all day, so he needs extra love. Okay, what I'm doing right now is step number 7. Stitch the inner boot satin outline. It's showing it right here. And then we're going to stitch the leaf placement line, and we're going to use, this is celery. So you need your little applique piece, which is that medium green piece. Give that a little shot of spray. Quite honestly, I don't know if this is a piece that I would cut with the Scan and Cut, because it's like so many tiny little pieces. I don't know what the rule is. What's the rule? What do you guys do when it's like something that has so many little pieces? Do you still cut it on your Scan and Cut, or do you skip those? Okay, there you go. Any more comfy? Okay, we are gonna go ahead and put our celery in. Let me go ahead and change out my linen. I mean, I tell my son sometimes with my, Violet is not a bully, but she's definitely a girl that will, she'll take from her brother if he lets her, right? So, and we'll be like, don't let her do that to you. So, they got to learn, though. They got to learn to stand up for themselves. We always tell people we call Violet, we call her the fat robin. Some of you have heard this story before, but we had a robin's nest right outside our front door. Did I spray my fabric? I did. We had a robin's nest outside our front door, and I went out one day, and one of the baby robins, I mean, it was kind of high up, like, you know, it was on like a little ledge, and one of the robins, baby robins, was on the concrete patio, just the front entryway. Which one's the oldest? So I have boy girl twins, and Violet's the oldest by like a minute, and she won't let you forget. But there was a baby robin on the ground, so I Googled it and I said, what should I do? And it said to take a piece of Tupperware and pick up the robin, put it in the Tupperware, and tape it next to the nest. So I went ahead and did that, and next thing you know, the big fat baby robin jumped out of the nest, jumped into the Tupperware, threw the small baby robin out, and killed it. I'd never seen anything like that. I was so shocked and horrified. But sometimes we call Violet. Oh, look at that. Hang on. I'm going to cut that. I heard that. We call her Fat Robin. Not really sure what happened there, because she would throw Kai out of the nest. So I'm going to go ahead. Yeah, they're no joke. Even as a baby, they'll do stuff like that. The fat robin, we call it, the one that jumped into the Tupperware, was probably double the size of the other one. And so now we know that the robin didn't fall out of the nest. Fat robin did that. So when Violet's being not totally nice, we call her Fat Robin. We're like, don't be Fat Robin. Hopefully I put this far enough away that, yeah, that looks good. Okay, I've been watching those eagles, the eaglets, and I've been watching them, and I love them. Okay, does this everything? Yes, that's right. Now it says trim the fabric as desired. This is a raw edge applique. I found that normally I use my curved straight scissors, but I didn't feel like I got quite close enough. So I'm going to use, and I'm sliding this off because I'm so far away right now, because Momosita. I'm going to use my snips. Usually I like something that has a straight edge, but we're going to use the snips right now. And let's go ahead and trim this the best you can. I've been watching those, and I think it was, is it this mating pair where the male, I think he ate the eaglets last year. Didn't he eat them? Or is that a different pair that I'm talking about? So I'm kind of scared to watch, but I've been watching too. I'm like, please don't eat the babies. They look like great parents. So I'm not trimming right to the stitch, just close. Okay, get to your happy place, your Zen place. Okay, so those of you who are scan and cut experts that have been using your scan and cut forever, would you cut these with the scan and cut? They might be easier, huh? Maybe I'm going to give it a try. Are there pieces that are like just too small that you're like, no, I wouldn't cut that with my scan and cut? Where you're like, no, thank you. Or do you go for it and just cut everything with your scan and cut? Because these are the things that are kind of a pain in the butt, right? I'm trying not to heavy breathe because sometimes I just get really relaxed and I'm a mouth breather. I don't want you to be creeped out. Okay, that looks pretty good to me. Good enough. They look like little hearts, and I think that would be way easier to do on the Scan-A-Cut, wouldn't it? Anyone? Did anyone cut these on your Scan-A-Cut? All right, here we go. What's next? You're just going to continue with the celery for the next step. So just go ahead and hit start. So Cheryl, would you cut those with the Scan-A-Cut? Okay, that was the leaf tack down line. Place the rimming, trim the fabric. This is raw edge. Stitch the stem detail. So that was step number 10. Now we're going to do step number 11, and it says here, we are going to stitch the boot placement line and the alignment stitch shown in red. Color that you can see, I'm going to go ahead and just leave celery in there. So let's do that. Go ahead and it's going to do the placement line. While it's doing that, what does it want us to do? Whoops. It says, place the boot made in part A, final side up, align the boot top satin outline with the upper alignment stitches, verify all alignment stitches match up, tape in place. Note, the green stems do not need to be aligned. Okay, we're not aligning our green stems. That's step number 11. Let's look at the picture. Here we go. Okay, so we're matching it right here, right there. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 spots that you want to align it. Okay, I'm going to stand up for this. Oh, hi, Mama. I'm going to get him out of the way so I can get close. Here's my boot. Here's my booty boot. Let's pull this back a little bit. So you want to line up here, here, and then we're going to flip up and you can kind of see your alignment stitches right here. And I think those are pretty good. And then we have the one on the toe. I think that looks good. And if you want, I need a pin. Let me grab a pin. You can poke it through. Make sure this is lined up right here. wiggle it in place. And then I'm just going to make sure these two top ones. Okay, that looks good to me. My top, I wouldn't call that like perfect, but that looks pretty good. I'm just going to focus on 3 spots matching up here, and right in my toe. I'll flip that back a little bit, make sure that looks good. All right, let's do it. I'm going to tape it in place. Let me get my transport. I don't know where my transport is. I lost it. Where's my paper tape? I lost my transport because I hid it from Poppy because she chews it up. And I don't see it, so I'm going to slide this back on and keep my hand right here. Oh, you know where I can find some transport? On the edge of my table. So I'm just going to put this up here, and I'll grab another piece and put it over here. I'm going to slide this on and take out my pin so that doesn't scratch up the bed of my machine. And I think we're good. So, where am I? 12. Step 12 says stitch the boot, tack down line, remove the tape, trim the fabric, vinyl, and any other boot stuff. So I'm going to leave that in. If I'm way off, if I start stitching this down and it looks really bad, I'll go ahead and stop. But that looks pretty spot on. I may be a 1/16 of an inch off. But if you feel like it is not lined up and it is way off, stop it. You can stop it. Pull out a couple stitches. But that looks pretty darn good. Trim the boot, tack to, okay, so now we're going to remove the tape and we're going to trim the fabric. So we'll trim everything. Stitches close to the stitch line along the outside of the tack down. Do not trim the boot top satin stitch inside the tack down. So do not trim that. So we are trimming right here, right around the outside of the boot only. We've already trimmed that inside before. I'm going to slide it off. I've lost my seat. This is what my seat looks like now. So I'm standing. I'm going to come over here. Let me see if I can lean over Momo. This is a little heavier. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use my double curved because we're going through some layers now, right? Thin stuff, just use your snips. Heavier stuff. So we are going to go. So don't trim in here is what it's saying, but we do want to trim right over here, right to the edge. There we go. And if you want, do your layer of, you could do your layer of vinyl first. Might make it easier. I'm going to do my vinyl, and then I'll go back and do the fabric. Does Reno do daylight savings? We do daylight savings. I wish we didn't. Although I love fall back. I wish it was always fall back and never spring forward. Fall back is so fantastic. Is daylight savings coming? Oh my God, that's, is it March 21st? It's my brother's birthday. Can't forget. All right, vinyl off. This big piece, I will save that. I'll cut off this little junky piece right here, and I'll save this. Poor Anna, you're suffering because I was trying to conserve and did my 2 pieces in one hooping. I'm sorry. It's a little, you know, you're going through a bunch of layers, so I feel like it's a little gummy. I need to put this on my lap. Hang on. Here's my lappy lap. I'm like at an awkward position because I'm trying to lean over Mr. Momsters. And it feels like it's too thick. You can still do these in multiple cuts. You do not have to do all the layers like I'm doing right now. My kids are coming home tonight. I'm excited. Can't wait. How cute is that? So adorable, that little rain boot. I just love it. Okay, just keep cutting. Fluff your fabric. When you put your hoop back on, that's when bad things can happen. Fluff it, flip it. Make sure that design doesn't get turned under. Slide it on. That looks good. Let's see what it wants us to do next. Oh my God, who likes spring forward? Cindy? You like spring forward because you like more light? Is that what it is? Stitch the boot, satin outline and decorative outline. Satin outline and decorative outline. So I'm going to go ahead and put this back in. My buttercup. Hi, Loopy. Where do you get your plastic pockets? Okay, so I have different plastic pockets. So I get them all from Amazon. And I'll show you my different, while it's stitching this, because this is going to be 7 minutes of stitching. Why don't we take a tour of Jeannie's plastic pockets? Okay, just go ahead and let that stitch. So I started out with these plastic pockets, and even though they all look the same, they're not all, whoops, can you hear that? That doesn't sound like it's stitching. Oh, still stitching. So I like the Game Note ones because I bought some other brand and they were like, they felt cheaper. So I always get Game Note and I buy like the big pack of it. I think they come with like maybe 20 or 30 of them. So I love these and I use these all the time. Where are my other ones? I also have, wait, let me go get the other ones. I'm going to show you my basket of shame. This is my basket of shame. These are UFOs. This is why I have to keep buying them, because they get filled and they haven't been used. So these are my the ones that I love from Game Note. I also have these, which I really like. These I like too. Oh my God, cuties, I'm not done. Don't judge me. Look away. Okay, but just focus on the pouches, not the unfinished work. So I have these, and I like these. These are a good size. So they're the same. I think they're kind of the same size. And there's also little itty bitty ones. So I like these. Sometimes I have them for smaller things. They remind me of Ziplocs, but, you know, hardier, and they have like the zipper top that you can pull. Okay, so I have those. My newest favorite ones, I've gotten these all on Amazon. Patrick and I are going to work on an affiliate link, and then I'll put up all my favorite stuff that I've bought. There, let's put away the basket of shame. Whatever, I do the best I can. These are my new favorite, and I just bought another pack of it. It came in a pack of 10. I want to say it was like $18.99, but you got to get the ones that have the nice ribbon handle. So it was, like I said, $10. 10 pouches, and it was $18.99. So they weren't cheap, but I love them. These are not plastic. They're like mesh. See that? And I love them because they have that front pocket. You can tuck your little stuff in there. And then they have another secondary pocket. So you can put your embellishments and then all the rest of the goodies in there. And the handle, because you saw my basket of shame is too full. So now I can take it by the handle and hang it on my wall. So how's that? Does that answer your pouch? And I got them all on Amazon. Okay, let's come back over here, see how we're doing. Ooh, looks like I didn't get it close enough. Okay, I'm gonna cut that, and I'm gonna see if I'm gonna try and trim a little bit closer because I'm seeing a little bit of stuff sticking out, and I don't like that. So do you see right here in my heel? Ick. So I'm gonna come back in here. Let me come in with my snips and see if I can clean that up a little bit before it gets there. So take a peek at yours. And if it is not close enough, and I can clean this up later, right? But it looks like I needed to go a little bit closer. I thought I was pretty darn close. You know what? I think I'm just going to be good with good enough. I'm going to come back in here and clean it up a little bit. But I think they should have done a little bit of a thicker, because that was really thick to go through. I'm going to come back in here and I'll clean it up later. But get it nice and close. I think I did my best. But I guess my best wasn't good enough. I'll clean it up later. Oh, the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go back just a couple stitches just to overlap it. I've got this screen up. I'll just go back 10 and then start. I just love fall back because I like it an extra hour. Because you know me, the nighttime is the right time. And I don't like changing the clocks. I thought they had voted and we were doing away with daylight savings. Did I miss something? Utica, was that so cool? I'm like so impressed with it. It took me like that's so embarrassing. It took me like a week to figure out how to hook everything up. I just couldn't take it. I would try and then it wouldn't work and then I would stop and I would just try it again. It is really, really cool. Those of you that don't have my connection though, don't worry because we're just going to go via USB and it's another step, but it's not a big deal. Your thread is shredding. Yeah, it might shred because think about it. It's going past all of this sharp stuff. Like it's going by sharp vinyl and it's going through all those layers. So maybe slow it down. Try a different thread. My glide is going through like a pro. But you might get a little strand. You might get a nick. It might coil. You might want to check it every once in a while, especially if you hear something funny. I put a little piece of tape on there. I don't know if you saw it, but I did. I found a used piece of tape on the edge of my table, and I did it. Patrick's so right. I had the 230, and I didn't upgrade to the 330. I mean, the 330's been out for years now. And I didn't upgrade because I wasn't using my 230. And I was like, I'm not going to upgrade because that'd be a waste of money for me. As soon as I was like, I'm going to do this, and I mean it this time, it's so worth it if you're going to use it. If you're going to use it, it's going to be worth the upgrade. If you feel like you're not going to use it, then I want you to think about whether you're going to use it or not. Okay, I have some cleanup work to do. Can you guys see this? Like, there are some, like, stitches out here, some stray threads. So I'm going to probably go back in there and clean it up a little bit. But you do want to get that trim nice and close. So, Deanna, I was using... my thing froze this morning. So I don't know what it is. It seems like I'm just cursed to have it freeze when I start to do some filming, because I used it the other day and did an embroidery and it was totally fine. This morning, I wasn't able to transfer designs before, so now I can transfer my designs, but it froze and I don't want you guys to sit there and wait while it freezes. So I just said, forget it. I'll just use it when it's just me. And if it freezes, I can just hit stop and start again. So, what is better? So Anna, what are you asking? Are you talking about are you talking about the, whatchamacallit? The Scannicuts? I traded up to the 330 because I wanted to do my connection. Yeah. So I wanted to do my connection, but you know, you really, when the other day when I was like, I went, should I, like, is it really that difficult? Did I really need to? And then I did it just via USB and it was so easy. And I was like, I didn't really need to, but still it was kind of nice. It was just, it's nice to go my connection. So there we go. What's next? So we just did the boot satin outline, number 14. If using the ladybug button, I am using the ladybug button, skip machine steps 14 through 16. So I'm going to skip 14, 15, and 16. And I'm going to go right to this step, which is the trim guide. That means a color that you can see. It's going to be down underneath the boot. I'm going to just leave the yellow in, my buttercup. So skip your steps first. So we're going to skip that. That's ladybug. That's ladybug, the red of the ladybug. And those dots are the ladybug. I'm going to go right here. Look at how much pull you have. And don't worry about the puckering. We're going to press all of that out. Okay, 230 compared to the 330. The 230 is, whoops. Do you see that? My thread didn't even catch. I'm going to redo that because you need that. Hang on. One more time. Let me make sure my bobbin was set right. And I'm going to go back. And it could have been just the, did you see how wavy it is? So it didn't like it. My machine did not like that. Fluff your fabric. Anytime you take your hoop on and off, fluff it. I need to go back to the last step. I'm going to go okay. And I wonder if I just hit this. Yeah. So it went back to my last step. Confirm up here. Confirm here. Step 22 out of 22. I'm going to go ahead and use my, where's my little spatula guy? I'm going to use him to just hold my fabric down a little bit. Just to make sure it didn't like this. I don't think it liked this, the ripple. And if you're just joining me, I apologize. They're rebuilding my deck, and that's the drilling that you hear, so I'm so sorry. And there is the boot. It says remove the block from the hoop, and I need to get another piece of muslin, which I should have cut earlier and I didn't. But I'm going to show you if you're going to do the this is the difference really. If you're going to do the 330 or if you already have the 230, I'm going to say okay, and I'm going to go back. So if we wanted to pull the applique from this, it's going to be in the boot And it's going to be the sky blue stuff. Not that one, because that's your placement line. Sky blue, sky blue. There. So this is those little leaves. So you would just go ahead and hit the scissor button. This one, which, you know, we had that big old boop. But if you were, it's not going to work for that because you needed the piece that we had. I don't think there is anything. Then you would just say, okay, memory. And then this is my connection. So this is the advantage of having the 330. Whoops, mine didn't do it because I didn't, this isn't connected to ScanAcut. But if I had, if I hit memory, then it would give me the option of saving it, just sending it, shooting it through space to my ScanAcut. But in this case, you just save memory and then you just put it on your USB. So then you would put it on hit this, put it on your USB, take the USB to your 230, and that's it. Very easy either way. Either way is very easy. Okay? I'm going to go ahead and cancel. And we are going to get ready to stitch the next one. And I do need to cut another piece of muslin out. And I will rehoop. So I'm going to have you hang tight right here. Let me cut that piece. Isn't he cute? Let me take these off and I'm going to just measure. I mean, Judica, it was pretty slick though, wasn't it? Just, I know for me, whatever makes it, the less I have to do, the more likely I am to do it. And I just, this is the 7x12. Let me measure this really quickly. This is, oh. I did 11 inches. Give me 1 second. I'm just going to cut my muslin. Let me get by here. Whoop. Okay, here we go. So I like to clip this up. I didn't do any tidying up. I lied to you. I just kept stitching and hugging my dog. And there is our boot. And then this is your secret pocket. This is where you can hide all of your treats or whatever you want to put in there. Right? This is where you could do your little bench pillow, and it could be like a little surprise for your grandkid. You could put a little piece of candy in there, some money, whatever you want. Okay, we are now going to do Mushroom House, and this one is done, and it is ready to be reused. did those get on there? So this is 90 inch. So I will take, I'm going to roll up one side. Sorry, you have to watch me do this. But just like a roller stabilizer, you're going to just... We also sell 45 inch, so if you feel like 90 is too overwhelming, you can get 45, or you could just get the 90 and cut it in half. But it's, I want to say the 45 is maybe $5.99, and the 90 inch is $10.99. So it's cheaper to buy the 90 inch. And I just put a clip in it just to kind of hold it. Oop. Little ones on the bottom for your 7 by 12. Little ones top and bottom. And you can tell because the magnets. So these are the little ones. These are the big ones. And big ones on the side. Is that muslin anything fancy? It's not fancy. This is not fancy muslin. But I've been using it and it's just kind of perfect. I just love it. So, no, I would not call it fancy. Whoop. I don't like it being on this table because it's not totally flat. I'll just put this on. Oop. There we go. Just gotta slam it on there sometimes. Okay, I'm gonna put my hoop back on. And let's get our mushroom house goodies. So I put this in here. So there's some flex foam in here. Must call for that. We're gonna be done with this. And here are all our fabric goodies. And where's the door? This is where I lose the door. Am I supposed... So I laid down the boot and yes, you do need to trim. So lay down the boot and trim as close as you can. So I matched up, I kind of, that's what it looked like on the top. And then I put a pin through that registration mark and through the one underneath, and it was pretty perfect. But if you start stitching it down, it doesn't look good. Just stop it, redo it. But if you look at mine, you're going to see I have some threads sticking out. Looks kind of bad. I'll trim those the best I can. But I mean, if you look at like this, you'll never know, right? So stop looking at my stuff up close. I'm just kidding. I may or may not trim it. To me, that's good enough. So, here we are on the mushroom house. I'm looking at your messages. Oh, yeah. I don't know. Yeah, sometimes I do, so I'll kind of drag it. It's not, I don't like hooping on this table. When I'm on a totally flat surface or my wool mats or something, I find it pretty easy. But I do sometimes have to pull a magnet on and put it back on again with my magnetic hoops. So we are done with this. This is step A. This will lead you to this door. And once you've done that, we're going to go to step B or part B. So here's part B. Let's go ahead and load everything in our machine. It's getting messier and messier over here. I'm going to go ahead and hit the home button. Let's go embroidery, pocket. I had brought these in with digital design database transfer. Design database transfer, yes. And the quilting design it wants, I'm going to look at the picture here because I wrote on the thing Easter 7, but I just put only the quilting design, so I want to make sure I'm loading the right one. And it's this one. It's the one that we just used because there's a little bunny with the tail on it. So we want this one. Go ahead and hit set. And then we're going to add, and we're adding the mushroom house. I'm going here because I use design database transfer. And there's my mushroom house right here. So I'm going to go ahead and touch that. Set. And now let's look and see what we have for alignment. Mushroom house B. So we have special alignment instructions. Align embroidery file so it is centered horizontally at the bottom of the doorstep. And the bottom of the doorstep is 1/2 inch above the bottom of the quilt design. Anytime it says 1/2 inch, I'm going to turn on my 1-inch grids to help me. So I'm going to go up here to my settings button, and then you have your grids underneath your hoop sizes. So I'm going to touch grids, and I'm going to do my 1 inch right here. So go ahead and touch that and say okay. So let's zoom in. 200%. And the first thing I'm going to do, I don't know if I'm seeing the bottom of my quilting design. You could get rid of this if it's confusing. Let's delete that. So I just deleted the mushroom. We'll bring it back again. I'm going to touch the hand and I'm going to move this up so I can see the bottom of my quilting design, which is that red line. I'm going to get that red line on one of my 1-inch lines. Doesn't matter which one it is. I'm close to the one above it, so I'll do that one. So let's go edit, move, and let's use our arrows until that bottom, the very bottom of your quilting design, because you have 2 red lines. The bottommost line is on your 1-inch line. Too high. There we go. So it's perfectly on that 1-inch line. Now I'll go ahead and I'll bring in the other design. So we'll say, okay, add, and let's go get the mushroom. Whoops. Not there. There's mushroom house. It didn't say to move it left and right. We're just going to take that mushroom house design and we're going to move it 1/2 inch above that bottommost red line. It's hard to see, so I'm going to go to 200%. I'm going to use my hand to move the whole thing up. I'm not moving the design because the hand's selected, so it's moving your viewable area. Now I'm going to turn off the hand so I can move that design. I know that the bottom red line is the bottom of my quilting design, and then the next line is the 1/4 inch above my quilting design. That next line, the third red line, that is the bottom of my embroidery. I can't see the whole thing. I'm going to use my hand again and move it over to the side. There we go. So what I'm looking at is not this corner. That's the corner of the quilting design. That's the 1/4 inch of the quilting design. That one right there. That corner is the corner of my embroidery design. He kind of looks like he's right in the middle. I might just hit my button up 2 or something. So edit, move. I just moved it up just a smidge. Maybe I'll do one more smidge. So I bumped him up 2. I bumped him up 2 times. And what I'm looking at, both of these lines over here, this one and this one are my quilting. This corner right here is my embroidery design. And I want to make sure he's in the middle of my square. That's my 1-inch square right here and right here. And he's right there. That looks about the middle. Okay, I'm going to go with it. How'd you guys do? Is that, you guys get that? So I'll undo the hand and I'm going to go back to 100%. And that's what we have. I'm going to go here and get rid of my grids because I don't need them. I'm aligned now. I'll go back to 200% so you can see. Oh, yeah. You know what? These kind of disappear when you go to the other grid. These don't show up, but that's going to be right about in the square. But I just wanted to kind of show it to you. All right, this is what it looks like. If you're good with it, we're going to start stitching. It does say the bottom of the doors. My God, Cindy, what would I do without you? You're right. So, and there's a picture there. So, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So, centered horizontally, and the bottom of the doorstep is 1/2 inch above the bottom of the quilting design. So let's look at that closely. Okay. I'm going to fix it. Grids back on. 1-inch grids. That's still the bottom of my quilting design is still on the 1-inch line. Now I got to get the bottom of my doorstop. I'm going to move it down a little bit. Okay. I think what I'm going to do is, I don't know if you can see the top of the satin, the bottom of the top satin stitch. I'm going to move that to where it is on that 1-inch line. And I think that'll be pretty close. Make sure you have the right part of your design selected. I can't tell. I'm hitting my select button. Oh, there. Okay. I can't tell. I can't tell. Okay. I'm going to... Okay, there. I can see it got a little bit darker right around the design. I'm going to move that down. I think that should be good. Do you see what we're talking about? The bottom of the... Here we go. Here's my 1-inch square. The bottom of this part of the satin stitch needs to be in the middle of the 1-inch square. I'm going to move it down a little bit more. That's good enough. I'm good with good enough. So I'm looking at the whole square. I'm making sure this bottom is in the middle of the 1-inch square. Good enough. I'm going to say okay. And we are ready. I got my new... Are we ready? B? We did our alignment. Let's get started. Thank you for catching that, Miss Cindy. I would have felt so sad if you guys did it and I had given you the wrong instructions, that was what I was doing. Okay, this is where we go, this button here is where we go forward and backward stitches. We're going to start with the placement line for our batting. I have cornflower in there, or I'm sorry, I have buttercup in there, so it's a color I can see. And then while it's doing that, I'm going to spray some of my pieces. Wrong side of my batting. Wrong side of my shape flex, and I'm just looking, I'm giving it the... I'm gonna lay... Oh, did you see that? I didn't bump it up. I'm gonna bump it up. So I can't move this. See how it's stitched in the middle? I could just leave it. Should I just... I can't help myself. I'm bumping it up. So I'm gonna say you can't move this unless you're at stitch number 0. So I'm going back to 0. And then I'm gonna go okay, layout, move. I'm gonna move it all up. Say okay, back to here. I'm going to stitch it out. And then I'll lay it down. Sorry, I can't help myself. I gotta move it up. How do you prepare your fabric and what blade do you use with the scan and cut? So what I've been doing is I've been using and I know there's lots of ways and there's lots of opinions about what to do. I've been using my low tack mat. I've been prepping my fabric with heat and bond light. And this is, Becky Thompson did it this way. And I'm going to lay this down. I'm not going to get confused by that other line. And then I was using out of necessity because we were sold out. We still are sold out of the fabric blade and the thin fabric auto blade holder. However, we'll have those on Tuesday. I used my regular auto blade with the black auto blade holder. Let's skip some steps. Right down here. That's where you skip. We skipped the first orange, which was the tack down for the batting, and then the turquoise, which is the placement stitch for the background. And we're doing... I'm so sorry! We're doing the second tack down for the background. Tickle your fabric, make sure everything is laying nice and taut. It calls for white for your background quilting. I am going to be putting in my linen. Linen. Ooh, ooh, linen. Okay, go ahead and stitch that. So Christine, it was super easy. I just put the heat and bond light on the back of my applique pieces. And I use that low tack mat. When we do it, I want you guys to clean your low tack mat, clean it well, and maybe even start with a brand new blade. You know you're going to have success that way. Oh my God! Bottom of the door? Well, does it count the doorstep? Okay, I might have to go back. So I'm doing this right now. No, it shows, if you look at the picture, it shows the very bottom of the doorstep is 1/2 inch. My goodness! Had a heart attack there. Thought I was, leading you astray, but the picture shows right like how we did it, so we should be good. I still have my 7511. Wait, hang on, let's look at it. No. I have an 8012 Microtex. I can tell because it's purple and orange. So I've been using a 8012 Microtex, and I really kind of use them. I don't want to say interchangeably, but either one of those is in my machine. It's almost always one of those. Not that I don't use other needles, because I'll use a top stitch needle here or there, or I might use a 9014, but most of the time in my machine, you're going to find that it has a 8012 Microtex or a 7511 anti-glue. And there's a new set of needles put out by Schmetz, and it's called their piecing and quilting set, and it has Microtex in there for piecing, so it's a good choice. I don't know, I think the quilting is a quilting needle. So Chris, when you said you had problems cutting through the fabric, which piece were you cutting through? Well, like, which piece are you referring to? And again, I apologize to you if you're just joining me. Our deck is being put back together, and that is what you're hearing out there. We're going to skip the next step, because if you look here after the quilting, go to machine step 3 in part B of your embroidery instructions. That's part 1. That's part 2. And this is part 3. Okay. Momo's barking, which makes me think he's telling on Poppy. Stitch the mushroom house stem placement line and place the mushroom house stem fabric right side up. Go ahead and put in your flint. It's your like medium gray. Give me 1 second. Hi. Oh, it's you, Chelly. Hi.
How are you?
I'm good, thanks.
Hi.
Okay, say hello. Okay, sorry, guys. That's his collar.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. No more barking.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
It's all right, don't worry.
Okay, so I'm going to put the flint in. Thank you. I asked when we got our dogs, I was like, is he going to be a good store dog? We need a really good store dog. And then it turns out he's a really great guard dog, which doesn't make a great store dog. Oh my God, I'm so sorry about that. I feel like I'm apologizing right and left today. Okay, let's get our fabric. So you want the stem. Here we go. It was a piece of fabric with SF101 and heat and bond. Oh, you know what? I haven't done that. I haven't done the heat and bond with the SF101 because I'm scared of cutting that. And but other people, and I forget what people say they use. So if you could share with us what you're doing about those pieces that have the heat and bond. That was the stuff you put on the fabric for the skin. I have only done it with the fabric and the heat and bond light. That's the only thing that I've done so far because I'm scared that it's going to drag and not cut well through all those 3 layers. But I think people said that theirs has cut just fine. So if anyone can share with us your experience. So we need the mushroom stem. I think it's this guy right here. Mushroom stem. Let me look at the picture. Not positive. Mushroom stem. Mushroom house. Oh, it's big. 4x5. No. No. What am I doing here? Okay, it is a big piece. So let me look at the picture. Here we go. Oh, this is our mushroom stem right here for the large. Did we just do the placement? Yes. So you're getting this fabric right here. Oh my goodness. If I get a whole bunch of thumbs down, I'll totally understand why today. Okay, I'm going to place this down. Make sure it's covering everything. And then you're going to do your tack down line. So, oh my God, look how cute the little chick is. So we just did this. We placed the mushroom house stem fabric right side up. You're going to stitch the mushroom house stem fabric tack down, and then we're going to trim. So you should have your flint in. Make sure your hoop is slid on. So let's see what they're saying. What was the step you put on? So Amy is saying she couldn't cut it really well. And I think, Amy, are you saying it didn't cut really well with the SF101 and the heat and bond light on it? Judika said she has done it with both SF101 and heat and bond with the auto blade. And no problem. So you know what I'll do? Maybe when we do this sew along for Star Spangled, I'll double prep. And I'll prep some with, maybe if it's like adhered really well, like all three pieces, your fabric, your SF101, and your heat and bond light, you can do it with the auto blade. When you were doing it, Miss Amy and Miss Chris, were you using the auto blade or were you using the thin fabric auto blade? Because the thin fabric auto blade is really little. I said to Michelle, I was like, Michelle, I have blades and I don't know which one's which. And I showed her, and like, the auto blade is a much bigger blade than the thin fabric auto blade. I'm looking at my instructions and I'm doing step number 5, which is to trim, or step number 4. I'm trimming, and then we're going to do our decorative stitch. So I wonder if you did it with the auto blade, if it would be okay. And, you know, it could have to do with, like, is it a new blade? Like, is it an old blade? Okay. Oh, my goodness. That was mayhem for, like, 2 minutes. That looks really cute. I love it. Okay, next step. Step number 5 says to stitch, and you're just going to leave flint in there. So I'm going to just go ahead and hit start, and it's going to sew the decorative stitch around your mushroom house stem. Oh, so, okay. Christine was using, Chris was using Secret Sauce. Secret Sauce is, you know, half Terrio Magic, half Best Press. And then, did you have SF101 and then Heat and Bond Light? So Amy said she's just going to try the Heat and Bond Light. And part of me is like, maybe if you're using the Scan and Cut, you just use the Heat and Bond Light, because you know it's going to cut through the fabric and the Heat and Bond Light, no problem. That SF101 is another variable. How long should the pieces dry before continuing on with the panel? I mean, I'm going to say it should be completely dry, but I've definitely stitched with some stuff that was a little bit damp, like a little bit, not like super damp, a little bit. I took mine and I stuck it on I have a fireplace in my sewing room, so a gas one. So I just kind of put it where I knew it was warm and it wouldn't catch fire. All right. So we just went ahead and did this step right here. We sewed our decorative stitch. And now it says stitch the small mushroom stem placement line, place the small mushroom stem, and then we're going to stitch the small mushroom stem tack down and trim really close. Color does not make a difference. I'm going to leave my flint in and I'll do the next couple of steps. I've got to figure out my fabric. I'm pretty sure it's going to be this one right here. Do you like that funky press job? And I'm going to give it a little shot of spray. I'm going to try and put it where I don't have that funky pressing. And I'm going to do my tack down. Tack down is step number 7. And then we're going to trim. Then we're going to do the mushroom cap. And the mushroom cap is, it's this darker fabric right here. That's your mushroom cap. Color, again, doesn't make a difference. Miss Anna, were you able to fix your little door and salvage your piece? I'm hoping. Heavy breather. Okay, let's go ahead. Oh, it's the little one. Hang on, the little one. Oh, I guess they both have the same. Okay, so this is step number 8. It says stitch the mushroom cap bases placement line, and then you're going to place the mushroom cap's bases flexi foam and tape in place. So we're putting the flexi foam down next. I have so many scraps of flexi foam, but you know what? Let's just use this big old piece they included. When am I going to use it? Gotta just use it now. I hoard my stuff. I can't help myself. I'm going to go get a little piece. I can't. I was going to try and just use it. Can't help it. Because look at this bin. Why use that beautiful, gorgeous new piece when I can use these? I can't help myself. If you've been doing Kimberbell as long as I have, you have something that looks like this too. So I'm just going to grab this piece, and we're going to use those. And then this beautiful piece goes in here and covers up the mess. That's what it was made for. It's a mess covering piece. And it looks like it wants to stitch the big one first. I usually don't, what's the word that I'm looking for? I don't tape it. Wow, that was a struggle. But I'm going to check here and make sure I'm covering all my, and then I can get rid of this. I'm going to do this piece first, and then I'll hit stop, and I'll put down my other piece. It's like this piece was meant to be. It was just waiting to get used up. notice, Amy, you use the fabric. I wonder if you had used just the regular auto blade, if it would have worked better. Yeah, so Judika's saying she uses the auto blade for almost everything, and that auto blade is bigger. So I wonder if I would say give it another go. Let's do it. We're going to give it a go, and we are going to go ahead and we're going to try it with our auto blade in all 3 layers. And then if it works, that's what we're going to do. So we just did the tack down, and now we're going to trim the foam close to the stitch line. I'm going to make practice cuts. Yes. I think the auto blade is the one that has the black holder. But if somebody can confirm. Oh my goodness, is that cute? Look at it, squishy. Squishy. I put Momo's bark collar on. Oops, I clipped a stitch there, so it's okay though. Those are your flexi foam mushroom tops, and they look so cute. Okay, I will keep this, and I will keep this, but I will throw this away. It's part of my therapy that I can throw things away. I will throw this away too. And we did our flex foam, our tack down, our trim. We're on step number 10. It says stitch the small mushroom cap placement line. Guess what? You don't need that because we know where the little mushroom cap is. It's going to go right around that. So I'm going to skip that step. That's the placement line, and I'm going to go to the next step, which is the tack down. So let's go ahead and we're going to lay down your polka dot fabric. This one right here, I'm going to give it a little shot of spray. And we're going to put it down over the little mushroom. And then we're going to stitch it down. So, right side up, tape in place, stitch the small mushroom cap, tack down line, remove the tape, and trim the fabric close. It does make it a little bit puffy, so you don't have to tape it down. I'm going to go ahead and, carriage is going to move, but I am going to get in there with this just to make sure nothing moves. Color doesn't make a difference, so I'm just going to leave my flint in. There we go. Judika, throw it away. Do it. Just, you don't need that. It's more clutter for the brain. I just can't help myself. I want to be free of scraps. But my inner heart doesn't let me. My brain doesn't let me. Am I supposed to be trimming? Yes. If you look at picture number 11, it shows the tack down and then it shows the trim. I totally respect people that can just get rid of it. Cluttered sewing rooms, a cluttered mind, cluttered office, cluttered desk. Oh my goodness. Is that just so cute? Love it. Love it. Okay, step number 12 says stitch the mushroom house cap placement line. So now it wants the big piece, this big fatty right here. I'm going to spray this, but I'm going to skip the placement line because you don't need it. You know where it's going to go. It's going to go right over the foam. So I'm going to spray this. Make sure your screen shows you orange tack down. And I'm going to give it a liberal spray because it has to kind of stick down underneath the poofy, puffy foam. I'm going to slide that on. Look at my screen. It is showing me orange for the tack down. And I'm going to have this ready to go. And let's stitch it. Because I don't want it to... Oh, hang on. We are not threaded. So it's a tack down and it goes around twice. So I'm just going to start. Oh my God, is that what Becky says? I'm totally... Okay, that's kind of like proactive and reactive. I will definitely be in the second category. The ones that wish they did. I just can't help myself. I just go, oh, I just hope for the best. It's being called optimistic. It's either optimistic or stupid. Okay, we're going to go ahead and trim this. So it says, right side up, stitch the mushroom house cap tack down line. Trim the fabric close to the stitch line. Here we go. Let's trim her up. I'm going to move this out of my way so I'm not hitting it. That is funny. There's those that test and those that wish they had. That I really like that. That makes sense. So I wonder with this kind of, when you're putting it over flexi foam, I would think you might want it a little bit bigger because it's going to push up your fabric, right? So what about that? I've never done any scan and cut that went over flexi foam. What do you guys do when it's flexi foam? You're my teacher. Show me. Okay, we just trimmed it. That was step number 13. So now we're on to this step right here, 14. Says, stitch the window placement line. Sorry. Hi. Oh my goodness. Did you hear that? I swear that was not me. That was Poppy. She just burped in my face. Okay, 14, color doesn't make a difference. She just came over, burped in my face, and left. So you want your felt. Remember this like super cute felt that we had before, from before? And I've only used that much. I'm going to put this down. And it says color still doesn't make a difference. So go ahead and do your tack down. Have your stiletto ready for any emergency. Or in this case, my small little spatula. Then we're going to trim the felt close to the stitch line. This is a 3-minute stitch out. I promise you it wasn't me burping. That was Poppy. Always blame it on the dog. And then what about these pieces? We're not going to do these, right? Because then we'll have to get out a rotary blade. This we'll just do traditionally. You guys are going to have to like we're going to do it together. It's going to be learning together. Okay. Next step. Step number 16. Look at what's happening. Is this what your work area looks like too? This is what has become in my work area right now. Okay. Step number 16 says stitch the mushroom interior placement line. You want to use your spice brown, and then we're going to place the mushroom interior fabric, which I'm guessing is this one right here, has shape flex on it, and we're going to stitch it down, and we're going to trim the top and sides of the fabric. Top and sides. Okay, let's go for it. Wait a minute, that looks really tiny. Hang on, this isn't right. I think this is it, because this is bigger. But I'll look at the picture. Yes. Here's the picture. So the interior is going to be this, which is cashmere. And then the step is going to be this piece right here. Okay. Now that we figured that out, what does it say? Let's go ahead. We have quite a few steps left. This is, we're on step number 21 of 40 steps. So, so put in your spice brown. Oh, that's another thing. We don't have any brayers. I think we ordered a couple of them. So I've been using my little kind of scraper. But is brayer the best way to go? Because I was meaning to ask my Michelle at the store, and I keep forgetting. Okay, I'm gonna get a brayer. I have brayers from other things, from like bookbinding and stuff like that. You know how we do lots of different stuff. Here is, I want to make sure I'm doing this right. Did I put in the right color? Yes. Trim the felt. Go ahead and hit start. This is step number 16. Stitch the mushroom interior placement line and then place the mushroom interior fabric. So I'm going to give this fabric a little shot of spray. I'm trying to look at your comments. Here we go. Hit it down. Tack it down. This is step number 17.